Hey, it's the Game Boy Geek here. Hey, how many times have you played Trivia Pursuit with a bunch of teams? And you've got so frustrated that you're on the stupid team. You're like, I wish I could be on that team over there. And how many times when you're on that team, you've got the answer, you talk to your friends about it, and they overrule you and they go with their answer, and you were right and they screwed you up. And how many times have it just feel like it taken forever to get that last piece of the pie to go into the middle and win? Well, if that is you, which was me, you're going to have to check out In Pursuit. It's from the makers of Trivia Pursuit. It came out a pretty long while ago, but it is a great game. We're going to open it up, check out the components, show you how it's played, and then I'll give you my final thoughts. Okay, one thing you might notice from this Trivia Pursuit game called In Pursuit is it's not in a circle really, and it doesn't have those pie pieces. And that's one of the things that makes this game a lot cooler than the normal Trivia Pursuits. Essentially, you're going to be answering questions just like Trivia Pursuit, and you're going to be moving around the board, and when you get to the center, there's some things that make you win once you get there. Now, the cool thing is if your team answers a question correctly, let's say I'm red and I answer it correctly, I move one space, and I get another card. If I get it wrong, the other team gets to move one space, and then it's their turn. So someone's moving on every turn, which keeps the game moving fast and ends a lot faster than most Trivia Pursuit games do. So let's talk about how we start the game and how we start figuring out who's on what team. Okay, there's a wheel here that allows you to figure out who you are on the team. So you spin the wheel at the beginning of the game, and then each person will randomly take a spot. That one is a red follower, this one is a blue leader, this one is a red leader, and this one is a blue follower. So depending on what token you have, you put that in front of you and that's what you are at the start of the game, and the wheel's removed. And so depending on who you are, different things can happen during the game. So let's talk about that. So on your turn, you're essentially rolling the dice, and you're going to answer a question, or you can take an action. So let's take a closer look at the die and talk about the different categories and what those different actions might be. Okay, let's talk about the different die guide categories. There's 6 of them. Here's HL, which is headlines. WW would be who and where. PC is pop culture. ST is science and technology. SG is sports and games. WC is wild card. So depending on what this die roll is, that's the question that's going to be asked that turn. The other die is an action die. There's 2 different types of things that can get done on this die. This one here is called jump ship. And this one here with the big leader token is overthrow your leader. So now let's talk a little bit about what each of those do. Okay, so let's talk about the 2 different things about the action die here. Now let's say I'm the blue guy, let's say I'm the blue follower here, and I roll this, and I want to try to overthrow my leader. So the leader would get asked, this leader of his own team, the blue team, would get asked this headline question. If the leader gets it right, he keeps his leader position, and their team moves 1. If the leader gets it wrong, first of all, the other team moves 1, and they swap. This person would now be the leader, and this person would be the follower. So there's fighting amongst the same team, which is really cool. Now let's talk about the other one, the jump ship. Let's say again I am the blue follower, and I rolled this, and I want to try to jump ship. The leader of the other team, the red leader in this case, would pick which person, he can also pick himself, is going to be the person that's going to be challenged. And so let's say he picks the follower. So the follower gets read the headline question, because that's the die that we rolled for the category. If they get it right, nobody moves from team to team, and since the red team got it right, they move up 1. If this person got the question wrong, these guys would swap tokens, and since the red team got it wrong, the blue team would move up 1. So there's some interesting strategies and things that you can do. Is if you're on a bad team, you want to get off it, so you can try to be jumping ships, or if you're always giving the leader the right answer, and they're always going with their own, and they're screwing you up and they're losing, you can overthrow them, and it's really cool like that too. So now let's talk about what happens once you get towards the finish of the game. Okay, in this case, the red team's made it to the finish. Now let's assume it's the red follower's turn. If you're in the center and you're a follower, you're forced to try to overthrow your leader. You get to choose the category that this leader answers. If they get it correct, this one person wins the game. That's the cool thing about this. This game is competitive. You're working with teams, you're jumping off teams, you're working together, then you're stabbing each other in the back. But still, only one player gets to win this game, which is really cool. So if the person they're trying to overthrow that's in the center gets it right, they win. If they get it wrong, they swap, and now the person whose turn it just was that tried to overthrow the leader is now the leader, and then it moves to the next person clockwise. Also, since the person got it wrong, the other team got to move ahead one, so they're going to be getting closer to the center. Now, if it's the leader's turn and you're in the center, you get to choose the category. If you get it right, you win. Anytime you're the leader in the middle, in the finish, and you get it right, your team wins. If it's your turn and you get it wrong, then the other team just moves one. So that's pretty much how it works once you've gotten to the finish. And then obviously the person who's the leader of the one inside that answers the question correctly wins the game.
Well, there you have In Pursuit. Okay, most people hate trivia games because over the last 5 to 10 years there's been a million other better party games that have come out other than Trivial Pursuit. But for people that do like Trivial Pursuit or trivia games, even if you don't like Trivial Pursuit, you might like this one. The reason I'm saying that is the cards aren't too hard. It's not like the Genus version of Trivial Pursuit where you can't get anything right. This one actually has, some 5 or 6 categories like the normal Trivial Pursuit does, but the questions aren't that difficult, and you're working on teams. So a lot of times the game moves way faster than the normal Trivial Pursuit. And when it comes time to overthrow your leader or to jump to the other team, it's so much fun. It changes the complete dynamics of the trivia game where you're working together as a team. Therefore, you have more brains to work for. Therefore, the game moves a lot faster. You don't have to worry about those stupid pie wedges as in Trivial Pursuit. You're just going around the board, and the first team that gets there, the captain's the winner, and you're jockeying for position. You're trying to see if I should get off this stupid ship and get onto the smarter team. And then once I'm on the smarter team, I'm trying to overthrow the leader so I can win. So you're working together as a team, sometimes backstabbing your team, and then you're working together, but then at the end, boom, only one person can win. It's such a great way to play Trivial Pursuit that I don't like Trivial Pursuit, but I like this version. It's great. I recommend that you get this game In Pursuit to have for your one game in your collection that has to do with trivia. It's actually fun. You'll always have this one guy or one group of people that like trivia games. This is the one to have for them. And just get on the smart guy's team and then overthrow them at the end and you'll win. It's pretty cool. Check it out.